Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing CHING number 57. So I know you probably are wondering where I have been for the past, I think last I posted was Thursday. I've just been really busy lately. I'm not necessarily behind on videos, I'm behind on editing videos, but I am ahead on filming videos, so you will see the yard sale haul to the last yard sale footage hopefully tomorrow. So I apologize that that one wasn't kind of next in line, but today we're going to be doing CHING number 57. So we're going to start in where we left off, and we left off at a vintage PEPSI trucker hat. This was a really great find. I've been having, I feel like, a lot of success with the vintage mesh trucker hats, so I picked this one up. It was kind of even a little like on the dusty side. I didn't do a whole lot of cleaning to it just because I was scared of ruining it in any potential way. So I pretty much just sold it as it was, and I only paid $1 for this hat at a yard sale, and it sold for $122.50. So that was a really great sale. Very happy about that one. So next item we have, this one was also a really good sale. It was a vintage Fisher-Price teddy bear plush. So this is kind of made of like a nylon type material. I always refer to these stuffed animals as Puffalumps. That's not necessarily their name, it's just kind of like the material of it type of thing. So this was from the 80s. I think I paid $1 for it at a yard sale. Potentially could have been just 50 cents. I cannot remember. But that sold for $49.99. So another great sale. Sometimes it's just kind of crazy what plushes can sell for. I've had some really great sales of plushes and some that aren't really worth like anything basically. So, but it's nice to find ones that are worth something. So that one was a great one to find. Next we have a pair of women's Ann Taylor shorts. I did pick these up at a yard sale. I'm pretty sure I paid about $1 for them. They were new with tags. Those sold for $19.99. Ann Taylor is definitely a very hard brand for me to sell. It just does not sell quickly. Sometimes not at all. So it's definitely not a brand I really like to pick up. I think I pretty much only picked these ones up because they still had their tag. Otherwise, I probably would not have touched them, and they did take a while to sell. Next, I have a Starbucks matte black tumbler. I found this at Goodwill and I paid $1.99 for it, and it sold for $29.99. I love picking up Starbucks items. I have kind of like a little bit of a collection of my own. So when I see them, if I'm not paying much, and it's not really worth a whole lot and I like the item, I'll sometimes just keep it and add it to my own collection. But if I look it up and it actually is worth a decent price, then I just sell it. So I was okay with selling this one because it was selling decently. Next we have a Adler Ballerina Christmas ornament. I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. I bought a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments at a yard sale for $1. A lot of these were Adler, and they have been selling pretty consistently. I'm hoping for more sales closer to Christmas, but I always say, if you have Christmas items or any holiday in particular, don't sit on those things because people will buy holiday stuff year round, year long. So definitely don't just hang on to them. Just get them listed because they will sell. So paid $1 for this, and that sold for $29.99. Next we have a pair of TRIPP NYC shorts. I did get these at Goodwill. I probably paid $4 and some change or $5 and some change. I'm not exactly sure what Goodwill has their shorts priced at anymore. But these are shorts. There was this brand you would have seen at Hot Topic like back in the early days of Hot Topic. before they kind of just went a little bit, I don't know, it seems like a lot of stuff in there nowadays is more, I don't know, not necessarily as gothy as it used to be. So this is a really good brand to pick up. I rarely see it, but when I do, I snatch it. Those sold for $59.99. Next, I have a JOSIE MARAN tanning oil. I did get this at a yard sale. I think I paid $1 for it. JOSIE MARAN is a, you know, higher end, like beauty type brand that you would find in like Sephora and stuff like that. So I did sell that for $26.99. I sold an American Greetings ceramic little roller skating girl. She still had her tag. I think I got this out of like a free pile at a Curb Alert. So I don't think I paid anything for this. Potentially it came from a fill-a-bag rummage sale, but I don't think that it did. Anyway, that sold for $10.99, so not a whole lot, but I either didn't pay anything for it or I barely paid anything for it. Let's see. Next we have a Greg Norman golf tank top. I'm pretty sure this one came from a fill-a-bag rummage sale. That sold for $9.99. I feel like some sportswear, especially like golf stuff, can sell okay and some of it doesn't. This was, I think, a size small, so that wasn't helping me or doing me any favors. But it sold, so that's all that matters. But I feel like I had that for a while as well. Next was a BCBG tote bag purse that sold for $23.99, and I think I got that at a yard sale, so I probably paid about $1 for it. I sold a dress by a company called Erica 2 and Company. So this was just like a long dress. I feel like it was kind of like a corduroy type material. That sold for $29.99. And I remember when I bought it, I just kind of wanted to test out the waters of clothes that would be considered modest. And I wanted to see what, like how selling, you know, clothing that I could put modest in the title would sell, since there are plenty of women out there who, you know, look for those kinds of clothing items. So surprisingly, this did sell. It took a little while to sell, but I feel like it's gonna start opening up my mind a little more to that kind of clothing that maybe I wouldn't have potentially really been drawn to before. So that was a good sale. I probably paid about $1 or $2 for that. Next, I sold a vintage refrigerator magnet. I thought the last CHING that I had one of these was my last magnet, but this one was my last magnet, and this one was the coolest out of the whole lot. I had purchased a baggie full of these vintage refrigerator magnets at Goodwill. Probably paid $1.99 or $2.99 for the baggie, and they all sold. They were just kind of shaped like little drinkable desserts or fruit cocktails, that type of thing. And this one was in like a shaped glass of a woman's figure, so it was a little risque and really awesome. That did sell for $19.99. So that was the last refrigerator magnet. Next we have a Bop-it game. So I got this at a yard sale for $1. I had heard that Bop-it games sell not necessarily well, but just very quickly for whatever reason. I don't know why. But there are different forms of the Bop-it game. This one was like a long one. There's also one I feel like has two, not necessarily handles, but kind of like handles. I never had the Bop-it game growing up, so I'm not like super familiar with it. But I decided to pick this up for $1, and it sold for $15.99. So I didn't, you know, make a lot, like a ton of money off of it, but it sold fairly quickly. So if I see another one for like not a whole lot of money, I feel like I might, you know, pick it up. So that was like an experimental type thing. Next we have an Estee Lauder lipstick. So this came from, if you guys watch all of my videos religiously, you know that I purchased a couple Estee Lauder makeup bags at a yard sale. I paid 50 cents a piece for each makeup bag. So there was Estee Lauder makeup and skincare items in each makeup bag that I purchased. And I was going to just list the whole little lot that would have come in the bag as a whole lot. And if you ever come across these makeup bags, like the Estee Lauder, the Lancome, the Clinique, you know, they always have, when you purchase an item from, you know, the department store that you're buying it from, you get like a little gift with purchase. It's like a gift with purchase type item. So if you ever come across these things, before you just list everything up as a lot that, you know, it came in with the bag, look up the names of not just the skincare items, but look up the names of the lipsticks and the eyeshadows and stuff like that, because these bags had a lipstick shade in them that is no longer made. It's been discontinued. So I'm so glad I looked it up, because I made so much more money off of those makeup bags by just taking out those items than probably what I would have had I listed them all together as a lot. So this lipstick in particular, where am I at? I sold this one lipstick for $33.99, and I only paid 50 cents for the makeup bag, and I sold, you know, other stuff out of it. So that right there was like really great profit off of just one of those makeup bags. Okay, the next two items went to a subscriber. The first item was a boys Adidas basketball jersey that sold for $19.99, and I did pick this up at Goodwill. I can't remember what I spent on it because I don't know what Goodwill prices their jerseys at. I'm so horrible, but I'd say less than $5 I paid for that. And then she also purchased a white sandstone owl for, again, $19.99. And that actually came from the auction. I won like this very large collection of owls and owl like figurines. And I never did a video showing you guys these owls. Most of them are listed, not all of them, but a large majority of them are. So I may still do a haul video of those. I did sell, I think, maybe 2 or 3 so far out of the lot that I won. So the next thing I have is a Banana cat plush. This was put out by Funko. I found this at Goodwill. I'm pretty sure I paid $1.99 for it, and it sold for $19.99. I was just drawn to it because it was cute, but it definitely seems like Funko stuff in general can sell some of it, you know, obviously way better than others, but still like a brand, if you're getting it for cheap enough, might be worth picking up to resell. Next I have an Etienne Anye pill box. I picked this up at a yard sale. I just thought it was really interesting and unique. I had never seen one before personally. And I remember it wasn't priced, and I asked the man what he wanted for it, and he said, make an offer. I'm not usually good with that kind of stuff, but I was like $1. I probably could have got it for cheaper than that, but I said $1, and he's like, that's perfect. He said, it's my ex-wife's. I just want it out of here. So I got it for $1, and it sold for $19.99. Next, I have a pair of men's Bostonian wingtip shoes. These sold for $34.99. I'm fairly certain I got these for free as well. I remember I was at a yard sale and the lady had 2 pairs of these Bostonian men's shoes, and I was looking at them because I knew that they were like a nice, well-made men's brand of dress shoes. And she's like, if you want those, you can just have them. and I'm thinking like, what? You know what I mean? So I took both, and I think both pairs sold. I may have one pair left, but I feel like they sold. Anyway, can't beat free, especially if it's something that's gonna sell for like more than $20. Next we have a Gap scarf. This sold for $12.99. Again, we're like middle of summertime. It is hot as hay outside, and people are still buying like winter stuff. So this here I picked up at a Fill-A-Bag rummage sale. So in the grand scheme of things, I probably paid like a quarter or 50 cents for it, and that sold for $12.99. Next we have a Jacqueline Smith. This is called a corset panty. This was brand new with tags, so like this is an older style pair of underwear. I bought these at Goodwill. I have no shame. I will buy panties at Goodwill, especially if they're gonna make me money. And these were new with the tag. I'd say I spent $1.99 or $2.99 for them, and they sold for $49.99. So that was a great sale. I sold those set of 2 Indiana Glass Amber Fairy Lamps. This actually they went to a subscriber. I got these at a yard sale for $1 a piece, so $2 for the both of them, and those sold for $35.99. I know when I did that video and I didn't buy all of them, I got some comments like wondering like why I didn't pick them all up. And there is no rhyme or reason to my thinking sometimes when I am out and about. There was one that had like a bunch of candle wax still in it, and like part of me didn't want to even like deal with cleaning it up. One was clear and it didn't have a pair, and I wanted to sell in pairs, and yada yada yada. There's like always like these thoughts like pinging through my mind as to why I don't pick something up. So I'm starting to just go with the flow, and any fairy lamp I find, I'm just buying it. So we're just gonna go from there and see. I actually have 1, 2, 3, at least 3 fairy lamps I've picked up recently to list, and you'll see them in hauls. So we'll see if they sell or not, especially considering only one of them is a pair of 2. The other 2 are single, so we'll see. Anyway, on to the next. We have a women's Torrid blouse that sold for $25.99, and definitely probably came from Goodwill. That's where I normally pick up all of my Torrid items that I buy to resell. So I'd say less than $4 I spent on that. We got this actually went to a subscriber as well. It was actually the same subscriber that purchased the jersey and owl that was just above a little bit. This was a hip hop singing and dancing frog put out by Jemmy. This was so cute, so fun. You guys probably saw both my haul video as well as the little video I made for the auction. I think I paid $3 for him at the yard sale. That sold for $25.99. Next we have a Harley Davidson motorcycle manual book. Eric picked this up at a yard sale for $1. We actually purchased 2 Harley Davidson manuals at that yard sale for $1 a piece. The one had already sold previously for less than this one. This one was worth way more. This sold for a whopping $104.99. So that was a crazy good find. I'm glad that he took the time to look those up because that was a really good sale. And I think I was busy with jewelry at that sale while he was looking up the book. So that's great. That's why I love when Eric is with me, because it gives me another set of not only arms, because I have him carry everything, but also another set of eyeballs to keep an eye out for stuff and help me look stuff up that I might not know about. Next we have a vintage My Little Pony pony. This one was called Sweet Sun Drop. I got her at a yard sale for 25 cents and she sold for $33. So definitely one that I think is a little more harder to come by, which is awesome. So I love picking up vintage toys, especially toys from my own childhood. Those are the ones I know a little bit more about, obviously. Next we have a set of 2 Bob Bond kitchen tea towels. These I got at a yard sale for $1 a piece. I sold these as a set of 2, so $2 into it, and those sold for $29.99. I do have more of those listed, so we'll see if any more go. And I still have some placemats and napkins with the same print that I have to list, and I still didn't get those up, and I apologize for that. Next we have a vintage Anchor Hocking juice pitcher. This was really cool looking. I was just drawn to the coloring of it and just the overall look of it. It sold for $12.99, so not a whole lot, but I probably paid $1 or less for it. In fact, I feel like that might have actually come from a fill-a-bag rummage sale. I sold a fig and flower top for $29.99. I picked this up at Goodwill on their 99-cent day. It's very rare that Goodwill has sales like that in my area. So when they do and I know about them, I like to go and try and find, you know, a couple pieces of clothing for, you know, a decent price. And this was a good one because every fig and flower top that I have picked up has sold. So it's definitely a brand that I feel like sells, and it sells quickly. So that was a great sale. Next was a vintage set of Lush. This was called Lustroware. They were plastic measuring cups, but they were still in their original packaging. Those sold for $12.99. I got those at a yard sale, and I probably paid either a quarter or 50 cents for them. I sold a Yankee Candle tart warmer. This was shaped like a witch's cauldron, kind of like had this bubbly look to the top of it. And then I think there was like a set of eyeballs on the jack-o'-lantern, and they actually glowed in the dark. So that was really cool. That sold for $19.99, and that came from an auction. It was on a flat of stuff that I had won, and I don't even remember what was on that flat that I wanted. I think it was something that I wanted for myself, and then this was also on it. Next we have these were a set of 2 Nora Fenton elephant candle holders. I actually picked these up when I went shopping with Karen, Lavender Clothesline, at the Williams Grove Flea Market. I bought these for $5 and they sold for $29.99. So that was a nice sale. Next we have a Bessie Johnson wristlet. I think I picked this up at Goodwill. I probably paid about $1.99 for it, and that sold for $19.99. I like picking up Bessie Johnson stuff. Her things don't sell for like crazy amounts of money, but I'm just naturally drawn to the stuff myself because I think it's fun and I really just like the look of the stuff that she makes. Next we have a Nintendo VHS. This was still sealed. It was basically like a promo tape of 3 different games that Nintendo 64 was coming out with. I don't know if it's something that if you belonged to, I know there was like a Nintendo Power magazine. I don't know if maybe you were subscribed to a magazine, you would get these free promos or something in the mail, or if it was just like a mail-in type thing. I don't know. Anyway, I got it at a yard sale and I think I paid $1 for it. I figured with this, there's so many people out there who collect video games and just go nuts over anything video game related, and the fact that it was still sealed in its wrapper kind of just, you know, I was like, I'm just gonna buy this, and that sold for $29.99. And as I was like doing my screenshots of my listings, I realized I spelled Kobe Bryant's name wrong. I spelled it with an I instead of an E. And I'm pretty sure it's an E, so yeah. I mean, it didn't make any kind of a difference with what my tape was worth, but that was a mistake, a spelling error that I didn't even notice when I was listing. Next we have, this was the vintage Lisa Frank stationery tin. I found at a yard sale for $1. This thing was awesome. It was chock full of brand new, never used Lisa Frank items. Like there was erasers in there, stickers, notepad, all sorts of goodies. That sold for $99.99. When I posted it up, I listed it on auction first at that price, and no one purchased it. So when the auction ended, I relisted it at that price because I figured, like, I was pretty dang confident that I could get $99 for it, and it did sell, and it sold fairly quickly. I feel like I didn't have that for very long. Next we have a vintage Eagle ceramic trinket dish. This was also on a flat of stuff that I won at an auction at one point. That sold for $19.99. Typically, when I win flats of random stuff at the auction, there might be like 1 or 2 pieces on the flat that is something that I really want. And then the rest of it, I kind of decipher whether or not it's worth my time to list and try to make a little bit off of it to, you know, get some of my money back and or profit off stuff, obviously, because that's what we're trying to do here. But then if it's something that's broken, chipped, no good, I just throw it away. It's, you know, it doesn't even matter at that point because it's not anything that I wanted from that flat. And then some of the other stuff that maybe isn't worth my time to list, I will put away in a tote, like a yard sale tote. Try to sell it at a yard sale, and then if it doesn't go, then just donate it. Next we have this thing was really cool. I picked this up at a Fill-A-Bag rummage sale. It was this sculpture made out of what they call devil's claw. We don't have devil's claw around here. So when I found this, I didn't know what I was looking at. Like, I was kind of blown away by it. But someone kind of made it to look like this little creature with a hat. It was just the cutest thing ever. You guys know I'm just drawn to the weird and unusual, and this just fit the bill perfectly. That sold for $14.99. Next we have another Estee Lauder item that came from one of those makeup bags. This was a little jar of skin cream called Time Zone. I think it was called Advanced Time Zone. That sold for $22.99. So I already made crazy profit off of those makeup bags, and I think there are 2 more things that'll be in like another cha-ching that I sold from those bags. Next we have a vintage Coach purse. I picked this up fairly recently at a yard sale for just $2, and that sold for $53. So that was a really great sale. I don't pick up every Coach bag that I see. I definitely feel like some Coach purses don't really sell all that well. So I am kind of particular with the ones that I do buy. I do prefer to pick up the vintage pieces. I feel like they have a better chance of selling at a higher price, but again, not all of them. This one was just one of those ones where the style was just very desirable. And then the last thing that I have for this cha-ching video is another Betsey Johnson item. This one is a crossbody purse. It had like skulls and roses on it. I got this at a yard sale very, very recently, and that sold for $29.99. So that was a great sale as well. But that is everything for this cha-ching video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. At the end of the videos, I tend to discuss any kinds of problems that have come up on eBay. I honestly cannot, knock on wood, I cannot think of anything. Out of all of these items, there was no non-paying bidders. There wasn't any issues. So far things are doing a lot better. I feel like I was dealing with a lot of non-paying bidders in a lot of the last of my cha-chings, and I feel like that hasn't been as prevalent recently. Now when I do other cha-chings until I get caught up to where I am now, there will be, you know, those blips of having problems of the non-paying bidders at those points in time. But as of right now, today, I'm recording and uploading this today. So when you see this, it's currently Sunday. If you're watching today, obviously, I guess that doesn't make any sense in case you're not watching it on Sunday. Anyway, but yeah, so no non-paying bidders lately. So that's awesome. As far as sales go, they've been okay. One day I was just getting cha-ching, 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 like crazy cha-chings, and then the next day it's like cricket noises. You know what I mean? So sales are like decent, I would say. But obviously it could be better. But again, I just feel like, you know, middle of summer, everyone's got plans, everyone's doing stuff. So it's just best to keep listing. Christmas will be here before you know it. So, you know, sales will be bound to pick up pretty decently come fall and winter time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You'll have to let me know what you thought down in the comments, how things are going for you, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.